Hello, beautiful people. It is day one of our Rise of the Rebel Matriarch Summit. And for our first exclusive one-on-one interview today, we have the gorgeous Lamya Borro, who was one of our co-authors in the Rebel Ma Healing in the Time of the Feminine book. And is a beautiful, dear sister of mine who I am very excited about sharing her wisdom with you all today as part of our summit. So welcome, Lamya.
It's also my pleasure to exchange with you, my dearest sister. I'm so happy to be able to exchange with you and with all these beautiful sisters in the world.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, for those who do not know, Lamia began her spiritual journey in 2012, which has since led her to organizing really impactful, energetic, and self development conferences in the Lebanon, which is where she is from. And Lamia's expertise spans crystal healing, feng shui, where she manipulates energies with finesse. And she developed herself into multiple modalities, including Chinese metaphysics to help individuals get more clarity, to improve life, and to find purpose and activate their highest potential. Her unique gift is in womb healing, helping women connect with their inner wisdom and the hidden frequencies of love within themselves. This connection empowers women to navigate life's challenges with mastery, be they physical, emotional, spiritual, or energetic. Her mission is to raise awareness between women about their beautiful potential in her homeland, Lebanon, and in the Middle East in general. She envisions a future where the power of the womb and its wisdom are celebrated, leading to the empowerment and enrichment of women worldwide. What a beautiful mission and vision to have, my darling. And what a potent and powerful time to be actually spreading this message of hope and healing and the feminine rising in a time when there is so much, turmoil and conflict that is happening in your home country. And yeah, maybe we can just present, what is actually happening there, what the reality is for you and your family, and what your vision is for humanity moving forward in terms of the situation in the Lebanon right now, love.
Absolutely. I need to say that the changes and the problems are not just in Lebanon, they are even in all the world. I wanted to start by that. With hurricanes, with what is happening in Palestine, with financial crisis in Europe, in all the world, we are really living intense changes, hard times, okay, and we are all affected because at the end of the day, we are not just located somewhere. All the world is impacted by everything that is happening, and for sure, I would like to talk about what is happening in Lebanon. I think that we were really surprised by this war. We couldn't imagine that we will be living something like this in 2024. People are shocked and traumatized. I couldn't imagine that I would be obliged to leave my country with my children. I was really obliged to put them in a safety place for them to not live all this trauma, but and my family, part of my family, is still there, but I understood that there is also a new mission, something new that that I needed some clarity and maybe some quiet mind in order to do or to help people there at distance. Concerning what we are really living in Lebanon, you need to know that people are in despair. It's like a game. We have buildings falling all the time. We are shaken by planes that are on our skies. We are hearing noises, terrible noises like insects. With the MK planes. Even our children know the names of these planes that are all around. But the most important thing is to understand, my dearest sister, after all these terrible events, what should we understand from that? I think this is the point, because if we keep focusing on this daily life, how we are suffering, we'll not get to any point, and we will not get better. So here is the question. Why are we living in such conditions? And how, as women, can we help in this? What is our role as matriarch? What is our, how can we impact our people as rising feminine leaders? How can we encourage women in this region that are not, that don't understand what does that mean to be in their feminine energy? I think that we need to get to this point first.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Yeah, I love that. And in your chapter in the Rebel Ma Healing in the Time of Venom book, you spoke about the women of Lebanon who have, you know, experienced numerous wars and invasions. And I know that your land is an ancient land that has, you know, endured so much and still thrives, you know, still rebuilds itself, still regenerates, still has so much, you know, deep joy and beautiful, like, I guess, beautiful traits about it. And you spoke about how the women there in the Lebanon are very joyful no matter what they are experiencing and what they have endured. So I'd love to talk about that in terms
Yes,
of, you know, how we can actually embody that feminine essence that we have, that joyful spirit that we have, even when we are in the depths of war and destruction.
absolutely. Our people and our country are famous for their resilience. And we need to know they are really survivors, because we got 22 years of war, we got earthquakes, we got huge explosion that all the world know about that. Really, we've lived a lot of things, horrible things. And with all of that, I need to say that really Lebanese women are really famous about the frequency of joy that they have in general, the way that they survive, the way that even some of them are really strong as personalities. They are very educated. They are into all that. But the thing is that there is a difference between being feminine physically and to have this feminine energy anchored from inside. I think that they look feminine, they look strong, okay, but this deep feminine energy is not yet anchored. They are not aware of the power that they have. They are not aware about their creative power, and they are not aware that they are able to transform a lot of things around them. They are doing their best, and I think this until now was the best thing to do, if you want to be, because nobody could have, if we put the same conditions in Europe, I think it would be very difficult. So I'm very proud of these women that could face all these circumstances. But with all of that, we are living very intense times. And here we need to understand that there are a lot of things that should change. First of all, I would like to talk about the messages, what I understood from all these circumstances or all these horrible facts that happen. First of all, we need to say that if we need to talk about the base, I think that we need to work on our values, first of all, to take in consideration that these events are a mirror to us to be able to be better people, first of all, and to have more values, and to be also more protective women about our children, because what happened in Palestine and what is happening in Lebanon show us that we need to pay attention to these children that are very precious. So we need to pay attention to our motherhood, you know. Second thing, in our country, there is a lot of separations and divisions. We are still have Lebanese that are divided. So for me, women have to have a very important role in families and a very important role in communities. And to be able to do that, they need to understand what is the power that they have within. And they have to really work on their limiting beliefs, because they are blocked there somewhere. There is somewhere where they are not able to see that they can rise into their life, they can be happier, that they can be more blossoming mothers, and they need to work on their children, they need to work on their community. And I think that we need more women leaders in our country, because as you can see, the very masculine societies and governments didn't work. We don't have a government since 3 years already in Lebanon. So we are suffering without government. And I think that we need to raise the awareness in our country into women and let them express themselves and let them have an impact on all that is happening in the decisions. But first of all, it's need to start in their personal life.
Mm-hmm. So how would you approach that? How do they do that then? If there's, and what you're speaking about is, I guess it's on a global scale, as you say, it's not just women in the Lebanon. It's not just, people that are in these communities. It's all over the world. Women really get to wake up to our power, to our truth, really start living in alignment with our values, getting clear on what our values are and what we are a stand for, and being a stand for not only us and for our own gain, but for our whole family, human family and humanity, as you say, So I'd love to hear about how you would approach that, how you would help these women wake up, what needs to happen, on an individual scale in order to impact what's happening globally.
Search, I think that what is happening globally is forcing us to develop ourselves. Mm-hmm. Because if we stay in the old systems, we will not go forward. It will not be able to be better, to feel better. If we talk about people that are now in Lebanon completely traumatized, mm-hmm. If they continue this way and they don't try to develop themselves, or they will not feel that they need to answer to some questions and develop themselves, they will have a very tired new generation. So first of all, they will be forced by. I think that this is the development of the world, naturally, the natural development of the world. We need to evolve, we need to progress. So they will feel that there's some changes that they need to do deeply, they need to adapt. And this is the beautiful message about what all is happening, why we are worse. We are obliged to be better. We are obliged to be more human. We are obliged to take care about ourselves. The second thing is that like the Rebel Ma community and the healers that are in the world, the healers in Lebanon, the sisters from all the world need to understand that they have this mission to be next to these sisters that are in Lebanon, Palestine, where in places where we have hurricanes. We should have a kind of solidarity to raise the awareness, to teach them. And this is what we are doing now with all our connection. This is what we are doing with our community. So this is the only way that things will change.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, that's what we are doing here. We're trying to weave what's next together by putting our heads and our hearts together, coming up with different kind of strategies and ways that we can lean into a new era of feminine matriarchal leadership rooted in the wisdom of the ancients, but also walking forward in a new modern way, And I know that there have been, for centuries, prophecies have foretold, wisdom keepers all know that, what we speak about, the rise of the feminine, will bring healing and balance back to our burning world. And there's many different kind of prophecies that, we can lean on and hear about in terms of, the divine feminine, white buffalo, calf woman, the eagle and the condor. In Irish ancient mythology, the sovereignty goddess married the king, the king that was in power in this sacred union of reciprocity with the land and the powers that be, and that brought a beautiful balance of masculine and feminine energies. And I'd love to know, in your traditions, is there any ancient kind of prophecies that have foretold Or is there any, wisdom stories from your traditions that speak life into the power of the feminine?
The only thing that I can say is that, we consider that Lebanon is like the feminine in the Med, because Lebanon has a feminine energy as a country, if you want to know. And Lebanon is all surrounded by masculine energies. So it's very interesting. If we want the energy in the Middle East to shift and to go forward, we women from their history, if you go to the sites in Lebanon and you see the history, you will see how much the divine feminine is present, even in the archaeology. So I think for the best development of the world, it's very important that women connect to their energy, because since ancient times we can see how much how were women in the past and in the ancient times. The thing that I would like to do, that most of the prophecies, there is something very important to precise, is that people think that the conflicts are about religion. And even in our country, they are trying to divide people with religion. So it's very important to understand that this is what usually prophecies that we have in our country, is that we have to raise awareness that it's not a problem of religion. It's politics that are using religion. And that this world that we are living is not really a conflict of religion. It's what it's appear to people. But it's a conflict between the good and the dark energies. It's something that is huger than that. And I think that by saving somewhere, or saving themselves by connecting to their feminine energies, and especially women in our countries, we will be able to higher the vibration and to find solution in this conflict that is really the conflicts that they are talking about during a long time ago in ancient times, that one day we will have one side and the other side. So I think that in all the written culture, it's time for the women to work to help in that. This is what this is what we know about prophecies in our countries.
Yeah, I love that. And I guess coming back to, how women rise, how we remember, how we do kind of reclaim our power. It's, it's connecting to the joy inside. It's sharing our kindness. It's, really coming to terms with our shadows, really looking at ourselves and how we're showing up and who we want to be, and embracing our creativity in order to be able to create more ripples in the world, and ignite transformation far beyond what we can imagine.
I think that Lebanese people will always be very joyful, and that for sure this is a secret to raise the vibration. This joy attitude, this frequency, whatever happens, and even to be able to bring up their children. But what happened with me, it's how I created my operation Angels in Lebanon. This humanitarian mission happened for a good reason. And this is a message about how to also raise the vibration and about how to shift the situation. When I was taking the plane to go out from Lebanon, I got a message. And the message was, you need absolutely to help the people there. The people are suffering too much. We have 1,500,000 people now that were displaced, and I couldn't leave Lebanon without doing something. And I understood very deeply that it was very important for people, for women, in their daily life, to help the others, to forget about what is the religion, what are the religion, how are others. So to really consider that as a duty from human being to other human being. And I think that the day that people will reconnect to their humanity And you need to know that most of individuals that now that I know that are working individually in Lebanon to help humanitarian missions are most of them. There are a lot of women.
Mm-hmm.
This is very interesting. I think this is the way that we'll be able to raise the vibration and to help. So this is why I created this operation, Angels in Lebanon, to be able to help my people, to be able to also shift, because, you know, Lebanese people are really into appearances, going out. I wanted them to use the frequency of abundance to help the people. So this is very interesting. And now we are helping people that are so cold, that don't have covers, don't have food, that are not able to work, because under these conditions, it's impossible to work. With the bombs all around, with all the stress, we have the economy that is completely collapsing, and we don't have any government. So the first thing is really to feel that we are human on earth. We need to feel about our humanity, and we need to go out from all the old systems, and I think that here also women have a rules to play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. We definitely do. And what a beautiful mission. And how can people support that mission? You know, like how can we can share the donation link and ways to actually contribute on the ground there in the meeting notes to this, for sure. Yeah.
Yes, the first thing is that I created a flyer with all explanation about how we can help people. And I explained some people can help with funds, some people can send things for food. I have people that contacted me to send containers to Lebanon, because we are working with NGOs. So there are many ways to help people, because really some people are not eating, some people are sleeping in the streets, some people don't have a house where to sleep. So it's really a catastrophic humanitarian situation. So I believe that we can be creative. Creativity is the strength of women at the end of the day, and are there for that. So they can contact you if they would like. We can create something to help people there, as I'm doing every day in my daily life since that I reach Europe. And we will be posting also the flyer. And I think that each one can do whatever they can, even a small thing, even to let them eat something, whatever. I think that we can be creative about that. When from the heart, we don't even need to explain what we can do.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the thing. Many of us get a bit bogged down with feeling so helpless and hopeless, and there's nothing that we can do. And some people disassociate or disconnect or just blank it out and push it away and, you know, stop looking at their feeds or the news. But at the end of the day, there are little things that we can do every day as a collective, as a human being, as a fellow sister, mother, you know, to show up, whether it's sharing, you know, funds, whether it's sharing resources, whether it's getting creative about the things that we can do in our local community. You know, there's so many things that we can do to raise the vibration, as you say. And you know, one of the things that you mention a lot in your book as well is the power of prayer, you know, and how much you turn to prayer. And I'll never forget when, you know, when the Lebanon just began getting invaded, and this most recent one, and we had a call with the Rebel Mas, and you spoke about how you called on us all to join you in prayer, you know, and to really build that connection and intention in motion. So if you just share a little bit, because some people might think that's pointless, you know what I mean? How can our prayers change anything on the other side of the world? But if you can, you know, share with us about how that can actually contribute to the collective liberation and raising of the vibration.
Very simply, when I was in Lebanon and the terrible war started, you cannot imagine when my friends from all the world were connecting to me and that they were telling me that they were praying for me, how I felt better in the miracle of prayers. I felt that really I was surrounded by so much love. And I think that when things are out of control, the most beautiful thing is to connect to our heart. Each human being has a very specific way to pray. So I believe in the miracles of prayers, because even when I was in Lebanon before to travel, under very difficult conditions, I even got a lot of messages from angels, and connected to archangels and angels at this time. And I felt this is the reason why I called my operation Angels in Lebanon. So believe it or not, when we send this intention from the heart, okay, and we have this divine intention, I believe that just the idea to connect as a community is a very important starting point in the shifting of the world, in raising this vibration. So this is why I was begging all the people that couldn't help financially, because I respect that in all the world there is financial crisis and a lot of problems, that the best gift that they could do to their brothers and sisters in Lebanon, in Palestine, and in all the other countries is really about praying. Because by praying, it's really about connecting as humanity. It's about the feeling to be one. This is why I'm really insisting. And I believe that we should go back to this idea about praying and connecting everyone with each other. It's so important. And I felt it very deeply when I was there. And this is what I'm doing for people that are suffering in all the world. And it's so beautiful to feel that we have sisters and brothers. They are thinking about us. And I hope that we will understand that, and that we will be able to build a better Lebanon, a better Middle East, a better Europe, a better America, a better world. This is what
Yeah, I love that. And I remember when I was younger and I used to pray, I'd pray like I grew up in a Catholic kind of country, and my parents weren't Catholic, but I wanted to be a Catholic. I just wanted to be like everybody else in my school, and I prayed to God all the time when, if I'd done something wrong, or if I wanted to get out of a mess, or if I wanted something, but I think prayer now, it's like nearly thanking. It's thanking in advance for the safety, for the feeling of, peace, for the better world that they are creating, even throughout the chaos, even throughout the catastrophe. Thanking the gods, the spirits, the angels, the ancestors for guiding us, for protecting us, continuing to call on them for that sense of protection, for giving us the strength and the resilience and the faith to keep holding that vision, and to keep planting those seeds, as like a vibrational frequency that ripples through time and space, shaping the world in the ways beyond our understanding. And when we can stay in that faithful vibration, I think it does definitely ripple out.
I think, it's very important with all that is happening in the world that people understand that they are not just a physical body, and that we have a soul. And that even if we read in all the holy books, we need to know that human beings are exceptional. I hope that they will understand that we are not just simple human beings. We are much more than that. And that we are surrounded by so much of beautiful divine energy, that around us there is so much divine energies, spiritual guides, angels, archangels, our ancestors. And I think that the veil is falling. And I hope that when people will be connecting to themselves, they will understand their multidimensionality, how much they are multidimensional. And that women will remember that that woman is something so important, and they have a very important creative power. I hope that they will be to understand, they will start to connect to that and understand this huge power that are inside of them, connected to all these divine energies around them. So I think that yes, we need to connect to ourselves. We need to know ourselves better. Women need to understand themselves better and know that a lot of angels and beautiful energies around are there, ready to help us and to help humanity.
Yeah, for sure. And that's it. It's like, you know, when we kind of rise from the ashes of our own pain and suffering and, you know, transmute that into sacred medicine and, you know, share that, you know, it's like a return to our wholeness that, you know, has always been there before society told us what to be or how to feel or what to look or what to do, you know, and really remembering who we are underneath it all, so that
Remember,
we can step more into our true soul's calling, our true soul's power, and share that from a really rooted, you know, embodied place. So I guess it's all every step is a kind of reclamation of our ancestral wisdom and a promise to carry that forward and to continue to shine the light into the shadows and heal ourselves and heal our lineage and, you know, heal the planet in the same breath, you know.
I really pray for everybody, for our beautiful planet. I hope that really the light will rise. And I believe in that. And I hope that all our sisters in the world are have this visual, are imagining this world this way, a better world. And I hope that we'll be able to build this world together with new feminine leaders, with women that learn after so much suffering and decided that they will develop to this beautiful feminine energy that are inside of them. I wanted to tell you something, Sercha. You remember we were in Bali together and that we met and we were sitting and having dinner together. And we talked about writing this chapter in this collaboration in Rebel Ma book. And you know, when we collaborated, we didn't imagine that, I didn't know that we would have this war in Lebanon. We were talking about women meeting in different parts of the world, and that Lebanon was one of these countries. And I wanted to say that I couldn't imagine that we will be today here exchange other and talking about a community that is encouraging women to be happier, to be blossoming, to be leaders, to be mother, sister, to themselves, to the rest of the world. I wanted to say that I'm really proud also to be part of this community, and that during hard times you have always been there. I need to say that all my friends, this community was asking us if we were okay. And I'm really proud to be part of this community. It was very important to say that. I'm really happy to have written what I felt in this book and to be able today to raise my voice and to encourage all women in the world to raise their voice and talk and express and talk about their suffering, to transmute that, to alchemize that. So I wanted to tell you that it's from heart to heart.
Beautiful. Thank you, darling. I know. And I remember being at that retreat and it was all going down in Palestine and I felt awful, you know, I even felt guilty for being there at this facilitator training, even though I was, you know, learning the tools to be able to use them to support my sisters all over the world. But still there was this sense of guilt and that I got to experience such pleasure and bliss when so many people were suffering, and you really helped me to kind of be at peace with that, to know that, you know, I still get to live even though, you know, I'm living in a very privileged position, but I get to actually allow myself to receive the beauty of my life and not to feel guilty about it, but to use the grief that I was feeling and use it in a way that was actually going to contribute to the elevation of humanity. And that's what we are doing with the Rebel Ma book. You know, we were able to really re-envision for the revolution with this one, to be able to give a lot more women in these places around the world who are on the front lines of this shift in paradigms to be able to share their stories and narrate their history on their terms and share her story from her heart for what is really happening for her. And I'm so proud too of the movement that we are creating together, of the community and the vision that we are weaving. And you know, it's really important to use what is happening in the world as a catalyst for transformation, not only for ourselves but for others too, you know. And yeah, it's really beautiful. Thank you for seeing me in that too.
I think we are on the good way,
Mm-hmm.
even in art.
Mm-hmm.
I think that all deep inside our heart, we are on a good way, and we are building something new, especially when women are holding hands and holding hearts and holding their wombs. So I will repeat it. I really pray for us to have the strength, the the joy, because we need this joy energy, the courage to be happy in our own life, whatever happens, to be able to help other women.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And tell me this, if you are to, you know, like really check in with your womb right now and bring your hands to this powerful portal of creation and manifestation, and really check in with what your vision is for your return to the Lebanon, for the return to the matriarchy. Just share with me what that vision is, and what it might feel like to actually be living in that, you know, right now.
The first vision that that I got is that I imagine my green countries with all nature around and all our sisters from the world coming back to these lands all together and sitting and holding the hands of women there all together and talking about what are the beautiful things that we could rebuild, how we could help each other to be a wonderful community of women, and that in fact countries are not anymore separated. We are just one unique country. The fact that we have Lebanon or Palestine or Israel or whatever, it's just an illusion for me. Mm-hmm. So all of us coming back to this land and to in connection to Palestine and all these lands and feeling that we are really one. This is what I felt, and I saw so much nature, these beautiful lands, the birds singing, no more planes harassing the skies. So this is what I felt. This was my message from my womb.
Yes, a return to Mother Nature. And absolutely, like I read a quote the other day that said, you know, borders are just scars on the earth, you know, they're not supposed to be there. You know, who should own any country or any part of, you know, the earth? She's not for sale. She's not there to be raped and pillaged. She's there to be taken care of. She's there to provide for us. She gives us unrelentingly. She fills us with the resources we need. Everything, the abundance is there for all of us. And yet, you know, these power hungry, bloodthirsty men in power have just literally divided and conquered and severed our connection to the earth and to each other. And it's time for us all to rise as the leaders of our own lives and to, take back control of our tribes and to work together in union as one human family.
Absolutely, sister.
Beautiful. Thank you, my love. Is there anything else that you would like to share or, speak into before we close off our beautiful conversation today?
I think that we shared a lot of beautiful things from our heart, and it's really pretty intense to be able to express things, especially with what we are living. I felt that we passed the message that we wanted to talk about. I'm sending a lot of love to all my sisters in all the world. Big kisses. And I would like to thank you again, my beautiful Searcha, freedom, my beautiful freedom. And I hope that this summit will help to raise awareness, to guide, to let women connect to their joy energy. And we pray for Lebanon, for Palestine, for Israel, for all the world to feel better. This is what I would like to end on this note.
Beautiful. All right. Thank you, my love. And we will put the link to your flyer and ways that people can support your beautiful mission, Angels in Lebanon, and any kind of links to connect with you on Instagram. Where can people find you before we go?
There is my Instagram page, and as I said, where I have always my flyers, they can contact you, and that you will be also posting the flyer to help people to know how to connect more easily. And the one that they will find the way. I think we always when we want to help, and we have this.
Beautiful. All righty. We'll find her on Instagram, Healing with Lamya. And yeah, I'll share.
Yes. It's Heal with Love by Lamya. It's
Heal
my
by Lamya. Okay, perfect. And we'll share all of the links on the interview down below. All right, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining us today, Lamya. We love you so much. We wish and pray for your family and for your return to your home, to your lands, to your people, to your community, so you continue to do the incredible work that you do in awakening women in the Lebanon to their own power and truth. So I'm honoring you, your courage, your resilience, your beauty and radiance, and may you continue to shine like the star that you are and brighten up our lives with your love.
Thank you, sister.